Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices for the 21st of January. We'll be looking at the S&P, the NASDAQ, and half a dozen tech stocks. As you know, I've been looking at the wave count, working from the bottom up rather than the top down, and that means that I just keep building on each little structure as we go through, and I've done that in this instance because the market has been creeping to the upside here. But while it's been creeping to the upside here, we've seen stocks like Adobe that we looked at yesterday and Amazon that have been in big sideways corrections through all that time. Not all tech stocks, but you know, this is Amazon here. It's been correcting sideways through here, so it's the NASDAQ has moved on a little bit better, but you know, those big tech stocks some of them have helped make this market sort of creep along a little bit. So I've been very conservative with the wave count moving up here. But this is the same with the NASDAQ here. Now, I don't think that we've got this fourth wave in here. I think this is like further up in here, but it doesn't matter at the moment because I've just been working from the bottom up here. But when I'm looking at this picture here, and I've been looking at stocks, as you know, we're in the video now for Tuesday and for every day, we'll be looking at the tech stocks, just half a dozen of them, and then on Tuesday and Thursday I'll start having a look at the innovative disruptive stocks and put a video out for those, and also putting trades out as I did yesterday with through the videos and also on the Trading Lounge trades page as well. So we've got a few trades open now. But yeah, look, just looking at this here in a conservative manner, I've been as conservative as I possibly can. But when I was looking at some of the stocks yesterday, and this is just a NASDAQ stock, a software company, Inuit, the code is INTU. So with this here, we can look at this here as 1 and 2 here, and all the way up to the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th here. So in a nutshell, we can put this here as wave 1 here. I'll just label it lightly, and coming back for wave 2, which I need to just do a little bit on this. Well, wave 2 can be here or it can be here for this, but there is always a nice 5-wave structure for this. So in this instance, I'm just going to play this out here, looking at it in terms of the bigger picture to the upside here. So it does present a completely different case, and this is the way that we could also be viewing the markets as well. So just let me see, that's okay like that. So that's that. So this wave 1 up here, I don't need to worry about that spike too much. I know it showed up in the indices as well. And then in this one here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, but it comes back and it overlaps this one here. So realistically, we would need to put this here as wave 1 and this here as wave 2 here. So basically, we're coming into get that into perspective here a little bit. So we've got wave 1 here and 2 here, then wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So building to a much stronger move to the upside. The wave 3 will probably be in here somewhere for this, and that will play out here for this. But this is just, I'm just saying this is a way that we could look at stock and the indices as such, so a much bigger picture to the upside. Anyway, I just thought that, you know, it's just something I noticed and I wanted to share, and we could view the indices like this. Okay, so I will probably on a separate page on the indices start tracking this particular count. It should be interesting, you know, what we've just started to trade stocks yesterday, and this would be in the third of the third of the third of the third here. So we should expect stocks to be, and indices to be really powerful coming into this particular structure here. Okay, I'll leave it at that, and I'll come back to working the conservative counts here. And that's okay too, but like I said, tomorrow I'll change that around a little bit and we'll start looking at these in the bigger picture. So this would become wave 1 up here. We could look at this as wave 2 here. So on the S&P, it hasn't counted very nicely as 5 waves up here, but on the NASDAQ, it has counted nicely as 5 waves of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. And this can be counted as corrective. It can be counted both ways, this. So anyway, this is something that can be resolved a little bit later on, but all of this becomes wave 1 here, wave 2 here, wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And then we can also look at all of this here as wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 in here and building further to the upside. So if we see this coming really strong here, then we'll know for sure where we are. Okay, but certainly a good time to move into stocks, which we have done yesterday in a variety of ways, and we'll look at some of those today. So S&P just moving in here. Let's just cruise on in here a little bit. So yeah, so from this wave 2 here in a conservative way, I'll look at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, moving up into wave 3 and back for wave 4. Wave 4 can pull back to wave 4 of one lesser degree. Yeah, but our job to be conservative again is just really to count 5 waves up in this space here, and we'll see how it's moving off quite quickly. We'll see how that continues to move along into that space. So yeah, we'll look at 5 waves in here. So we're going, after we had 5 waves here, we probably could look at this as 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we're going to be pushing up a little bit higher in here. We talked about being long in here yesterday, of course. So hopefully you're long. I mean, in a nutshell, you can see here the little classic trading levels pattern sitting in here, and that's what we're talking about yesterday. So the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then coming back and checking it, and then taking these highs out here. You may have even gone onto this one here and here, but that basically represents this one here in a, this is obviously a bigger picture here, but the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the ABC, and then we start buying any new highs that start clicking in. Any, you know, you can come right down here. Then you maybe even get a better one in here. But that pattern here, it's not perfect, but it's the best one that I found. And, you know, of course it fits the Elliott cycle in a couple of ways. It could be wave 3, 4, and 5 here with an ABC, or it could be finishing here and moving up with 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So it encapsulates that nicely. And this is a bigger picture here, of course, for that. So yeah, in this instance here, let's just go through the levels. So we've got the 800, which is a minor level, and then we've got 1, 2, and 3, which is group 1, and then the midpoint here, 50. So the next levels up are at 80 here, 380, 3. 3880, and we've got group 2 within that there as well. So group 2 will be, you'll see them play out, so 65, and copy that also 72 in here. But it is moving quite, we haven't seen this strength in this market before. So what I did on that Inuit stock software company, showing a much more powerful structure, hopefully we're approaching that, you know. And obviously we've got the US politics with Biden being put in place there. So yeah, so let's have a little look at the NASDAQ now. Much the same sort of thing here. So I've got wave 3 here, which I know is wrong, and it's wrong because the wave 4 is just not big enough here. So that's okay. And this is why I was looking at it with wave 3 and 4, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, a slightly different pattern here, but it's the third wave is playing out nicely at in a conservative minimal way. It's doing all the right things for the third wave, but it could be that much larger picture there as well. Let's just continue to move in here. We talked about going long above here, but we also talked about long being further in on this as well. Let me just check here. Not that it's a biggie. I just want to really get into the stocks. So yeah, we talked about being long here and long through here as well, and to build positions really through group 1. So we've got 13,000, so 100, 200 and 300 is all group 1. Now if we get a tested support on group 1 here, just by the by, we should see some little sort of pattern here on top of number 3. Well, then we'll push up to number 5 at that point. Okay. So I want to have a look at stocks now. Let me just get them organized here. So is that fitting into the screen? Let me just... Yeah, that's okay. So we're looking at Amazon here in this. Well, yesterday we also compared this to Adobe as well, and with Adobe we could see this as an ABC correction, but with Amazon here we can look at it as an ABC, or we can look at it as a triangle. It doesn't really matter as such, but we were looking at being long in this above the 3150. So I'll put that in the trades page as well so we can manage that. But we're getting our first little impulse wave to the upside here. So I want to point out that this trade here, we should be heading up to the 4,000 with this. So this is, looking good at this point. So we'll build into it as well. Would have been nice if I'd mentioned to, maybe I didn't, but to build into it again over here, but it doesn't matter. You can still build into it. You still get 2 or 3 positions in this, but we've just got to be a little bit careful. This will be 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 will be up here. So we'll get 3, 4 and 5, something in here. We're going to get some sort of correction across this point here, which will give us another opportunity to move into this, even to buy the pullback as well. But we'll look at that tomorrow when it shapes up a little bit more and finishes this particular trend. We put Alphabet on the trades page yesterday. So just in a nutshell, and we talked about it here in the video as well, of course, looking to take this top out here. So that's moved along quite nicely. So we don't need that. But from this low here of wave 4, and I'm being conservative with this as well as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 moving up here. But our target's to 2,000 as I mentioned, because it's going to spend a bit of time there. But we can look at that as 1 and 2 here, nice third wave. So there'll be a 4th and a 5th coming up into here. So we'll just take it at the 2,000 in this case, and then we'll wait for a better setup on this level here, because there should be some sort of, unless we're moving into that real powerful structure, I'll have to double check on that. But yeah, I think there should be some sort of little dance across here that we should be able to take advantage of. I don't think that's going to be wave 1 sitting at the top there. We can build that further, probably wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and building up high, but we still will go through that. Maybe we'll leave a bit of skin in the game, we'll see. Okay, so Apple, we'll look at, we also talked about being long in Apple yesterday as well. I need to spend a bit of time on this particular pattern here, but Apple had been looking quite good as such. So it had been we were long in this just before Christmas as well, but we got out just before Christmas, but either way, we're looking at an ABC pattern here. We may have this B wave as wave 1 here, but we're getting a nice impulse wave up here as 1 and 2 here, then back for 1 and 2 here, and then up for wave 3 here. I suppose we could look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it doesn't really fit as a wave 3 here, a bit short. But this is a bit laborious, this large correction here, so it shouldn't really look like that. But it hasn't overlapped wave 1, wave 4 and wave 1 haven't overlapped, and we've sort of moved off here a little bit, so we can expect this to probably push up a little bit higher, but we can expect some sort of correction here, so there'll be an opportunity to move back in, to get back in, to move into that again if you wanted to. We also looked at Square as well. So with Square here, I had it as wave 3 and 4 here, as you may know, and then 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the third wave, fourth wave, and the fifth wave here. Fifth wave is probably a little bit short, but it's kind of, the third wave's got the extension in it, so it kind of suits wave 1. So we should really be coming down here, but as I mentioned yesterday, we'll take that high out to go along here, and then we can also move back in over here, because if it takes that high out here, that means that this conservative structure that I've got, we've got this as a portfolio buy as well down here, but in the conservative way, I've got a top in place there, which is not going to be the case, so we can pretty much move that, but we'll see. We'll see. It's probably up for wave 1 here, back for wave 2 and 3, 4, 5, moving up higher through here as well, up into the 300. So I'll just leave that setup sitting there for that. You may be able to want to, no, I'll leave it there. Let's get a clear, because of the count, let's get a nice clear break of that. And we also looked at Facebook as well. So with Facebook here, I was looking at as wave 3 with an A and a B and a C wave down here. The C wave is a little bit too long compared to wave A here, so they should have some sort of relationship. And yeah, as I mentioned yesterday, it was a little bit sort of weird. Maybe I don't know, maybe you have to readjust this here. As I mentioned, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then this move, and then this move, and this one to here and here. So I can get 5 waves down here. It does leave wave 3 a little bit short, I think. I'll have to just check on that. It looks about the same size, actually, a tad shorter. But the point was that a move up through that low there would destroy the bearish count and would need to be long. So as this keeps if it keeps moving up, and of course you can see that a trend's got a beginning, a middle, and an end, and then it will pull back and then move up. So there will be some sort of pullback at some point there. How far it pulls back, I'm not sure, but then should push up from that point there. So stay with that. And we looked at Tesla as well. So with Tesla here, there's a couple of ways to view this. We can even have this wave 4 sitting over here for this as an A wave, and A, B, no, it doesn't really work with that either. So I think I've probably got the right way here with wave 4 here, with an overlap. I can't call that 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I probably could, but there's a bit of an overlap there, so we might have to call that corrective. But this also looked impulsive at this point, and then we've got the A, the B, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the C wave here. So we're looking at going long above this high here, so that hasn't sort of triggered yet. Of course, this top would be taken out here, so we can expect a move above the 900. But if we're talking the 900, then we've got to be talking the 1,000 at this point. Even in terms of, say, Richard Wyckoff's work, in terms of the accumulation process here, squaring time up with price here would take us further up into this place here. So the accumulation unit for unit would equal the distribution unit for unit. Alrighty, I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.